can't stop the sunshine.
Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here with the gorgeous Gemini December Horoscope. Well, it's another big month coming up. There are four major things this month that are affecting us. And for you, we have a minor grand trine. Most star signs have got that. We've also got Venus retrograde in your 8th house. So that's all about intimacy and shared resources with other people. So that might be significant. There's a solar eclipse in Sagittarius in your 7th house of significant relationships. So business partners, spouses, people you live with perhaps. We also have Jupiter changing houses and changing signs. So a lot happening this month. But firstly, I'll draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. And then we'll have a look at your in-depth horoscope, and I'll finish up with a psychic channeling at the end. So stick around for that. Let's go to the board now and see what the cards have to say first. I've already pre-shuffled them, so we don't have to waste time. And you can think of the first card as the first half of the month if you wish, and the second card as the second half of the month. And by the way, if you are new, please consider joining the channel, subscribe and be alive, and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, first card. I like to close my eyes first. Yeah, a bit of water here on the ground. It's like leaking or something, leaking emotions. So just be little bit cautious that your emotions don't sort of show when you don't mean them to show, because you could be a bit emotional and it's pretty plain for everyone to see. The card that comes up is the 7 of Pentacles. This is often about money. Sometimes it's about your physical body or perhaps your possessions. But yeah, in a nutshell, it's usually about money. There could be some delays. There's money coming, or you're waiting on money or something like that, but you have to wait. You see, it's like she's planted the seeds, but the seeds haven't sort of come to fruition yet. When you plant things, they take their time. You've got to make sure they have enough water, of course, and they have the sunshine and all of that. Give them fertilizer and all that stuff. Actually, I don't fertilize till about a week or 2 weeks after they pop their little heads up. But, there's a definite time of waiting, okay? So cultivating material gains takes some labor and some patience, basically. It's coming. It may not happen overnight, but it will happen. Okay, a lot of green in that card for growth and opportunity at the time of the universe's choosing. All right, so second half of the month, if you want to think in terms of time, let's have a look at this card. There's one back there. No, that wasn't it. Was that it? No. Hang on a sec. Oh, that one wants to come out. Let's go with that. All right, closing my eyes. There's a little vehicle in front of me now. It's sort of a bit old-fashioned, light-coloured, old-fashioned looking car. This says that you're getting to where you're going. It's going slowly. It's sort of chugging along. It's getting there. It really is time to update the way you think about things, and maybe get more in the flow, because there's some old-fashioned ideas here, but you will get to where you want to go. The car's been very reliable, and you do it this way, and you think these things, and you have these patterns because in the past they've worked for you. At some point they're not going to work for you. So I say maybe volunteer to update your ideas and your belief systems, but you're getting there. The card that comes up is the 3 of Cups. Okay, this is more about socializing. It could be friends or perhaps family. It's not usually to do with your work very much, unless you have a particularly good friend at work and you go out together after work or something like that perhaps. The thing is, you see, they're all in the fish's mouth here, and that suggests that there's an unconscious bond, like a spiritual bond that's deep. You might not be fully aware of it, and that's why it's unconscious. The Christians use the symbol of the fish thousands of years ago as a symbol to other Christians to let them know that they were part of the club, so to speak. And so you're all in this together, whatever this thing is, with this spiritual reality, but completely different people, mind you. You've got completely different personalities. Also, sometimes when you get three people, they can, two of them can form a little clique and the third one can feel out. So do take note if you feel out or you don't fit in. It's probably okay. It's probably going to work out okay, but you don't always agree. Okay, so all right, but socializing, having fun, getting out and about and that sort of thing in the second half of the month, dear Gemini. Now let's have a look at your horoscope in depth, and there is a fair bit happening here. I'll put that up there like that. Do bear these cards in mind because they usually come up in some form in the reading, especially when we do the horoscope. First thing, minor grand trine here. We've got Neptune in Pisces in the 10th house around your vocation, your general life direction, your mission in life, whatever that be. Okay, Neptune is at home in Pisces. It's very spiritual influence. We've got Venus in Capricorn here in your 8th house of shared resources and intimacy. Okay, Venus loves that intimacy zone because she loves the idea of love, and so you might find things getting more passionate in the bedroom perhaps. It's in Capricorn, so it's got a real physical solid sort of effect in your life. It's probably not just in your head, it's probably something physically that's going on, possibly, depending on other factors in your chart, of course. We've got Mars here in Scorpio in your 6th house of everyday work. Mars is like this energetic and even, bordering on being aggressive sometimes, this desire to get ahead and to assert your will. And a certain amount of that is a good thing. In Scorpio, of course, it's very deep and it's bubbling up from within, from the depths of your subconscious. Okay, so this could also be your habits, your health and well-being, or your everyday work that you do. Okay, and this makes a trine to your vocations. So this minor grand trine, these three planets all working together for your benefit, and this making a trine over here to Neptune, it's really very strong about having a spiritual connection in your work on a daily basis and making that part of your life's mission. So if you don't feel that way about your job, like it's part of your life's mission, then you might reconsider. It doesn't really say here so much that you're changing job or something like that, but it's possible with that. And all of this activity here in your 9th house suggests that there's a lot of growth going on and that you want to expand your horizons and go on to bigger and better things. Okay, and then we have Venus retrograde in Capsicum, I'm trying to say, because I've just been outside weeding my capsicums. Capricorn, Venus retrograde in Capricorn here in your 8th house. So this is very significant. It goes retro on the 19th of the month. And it's like there's a lot of energy before that, maybe, passionate energy here in your intimacy zone, but then things could go a bit quieter, or you have to reevaluate how you feel within. Okay, so there's a new way of doing things that was different to before with Venus retrograde. It's always good with retrograding planets not to make a definite decision about some important matter, because when it starts going direct again, then you'll probably change your mind again, but at the moment just be aware things could slow down here. Solar eclipse in Sagittarius here in your 7th house of committed relationships. Okay, so does look more like this month it's all about relationships and intimacy or shared resources with other people. A solar eclipse really externalizes changes. Okay, so changes have been going on probably more within you and in your subconscious, but now there's going to be some physical consequences or some physical show of these inner changes that have already started. Seventh house, partnerships, personal and business. Also legalities could be changing, or open enemies, which basically open enemies are the people that you don't get on with and you know about, and you've probably had some sort of relationship with at some point. So there could, with a solar eclipse, things are uncovered. You begin to see stuff. You have more insights. A lunar eclipse, things are covered up, and there's a lunar eclipse in November. Last month there was, which is now, because it's now the 14th of November I'm doing this, but I think it's the 19th. So a lunar eclipse is sort of like a cover-up, something that you didn't see, something hidden, and then it becomes known with the solar eclipse what is going on. You become more insightful and more aware, and there's real things happening in the physical world because of it. The other thing that's important, Jupiter moves into your 10th house, and then on the 28th it goes into Pisces. So this is beautiful because Pisces is a very spiritual sort of energy, and you might find that you're being called to bring spirituality into your work or into your life mission in some way, whatever your job might be. And your job doesn't have to be in the metaphysical area. You don't have to be a psychic or an astrologer or a healer or even a musician or artist. You could be down there working at the bank, but somehow you can bring in a little bit of your spirituality, dealing with your co-workers or perhaps the clients, just by smiling and being kind. You know, that's in short supply these days. Sadly, people will notice you if you do that. All right, so let's have a little bit more in-depth look at more influences this month. 29th of November to the 3rd of December, Venus is sextiling Neptune, which is just lovely. Neptune's here, and Venus is... I can't read my own writing, isn't it amazing? Venus is here in the 8th, okay, so there's a beautiful angle here between the two, and this means that you're more likely to be receptive to beauty, and you want to be surrounded by harmony and kindness, and Venus is very good with that. She's very polite and cooperative and helpful, you know, so you probably feel like you want people like that around you, and you'll probably attract them too, and you're more likely to be more gentle and kind yourself. You can be of service to other people, and it'll actually make you feel happy doing that. 30th to the 4th, Venus conjuncts Mars. This gives you a very strong desire for companionship or affection or love. A new romance or friendship could start. If you're in an established relationship, and you know there's so much going on here in your relationship zone and here in your intimacy zone, it could be rejuvenated or revitalized or some way. You feel younger, or it was like when you were, you know, first started going out together or something like that. If there's someone you want to reach out to, now is a good time to create warm feelings between the two of you and start something beautiful. 3rd of December is a solar eclipse here in your 7th house of partnerships. New beginnings in relationships are amplified. It's time to spend some time and pay some attention to your significant other, and it's also likely that your ties to women or your need to connect to important women is also highlighted at the moment. Okay, maybe something about your mother going on there. 2nd of December to the 6th of December, Venus sextiles Mars. You're quite playful. Romance and flirtations are quite likely now. You're feeling more warm and expressive. There's more energy, so you feel younger and more alive. There's feelings of love that are flowing between you and the people you meet, especially those that are the opposite sex. Friendships are also strengthened at this time. It's time to make something beautiful in your life. 8th of December to the 15th, Venus conjuncts Pluto, and this is quite passionate, stirs up a lot of emotions, and you become more intense. You might find things like insecurities or jealousies or hidden resentments coming up from your subconscious here. So yeah, just watch that. You feel more sort of compelled to do things, and your feelings are more compelling than usual. You could also develop a powerful attraction to somebody who's fascinating, and it's a good time to reveal your feelings and yearnings to people who are trustworthy. Okay, do watch that. If you're just starting a new relationship, you don't want to go in too deep too fast, believe me. 1st of December to the 23rd of December, Saturn sextiles the Sun. This is fabulous for relationships with people that you look up to in some way, maybe employers or authority figures, government agencies even. You know, these people are helping you now. Somebody in authority or influence can help you in your work. You might get some recognition or approval. You might sign a contract or an agreement, which is pretty important. But this is a very positive influence. And although it's not a huge, sort of change, there is a change. And your life can feel more solid. And you're taking steps in the right direction now. It's like you've got an inner GPS that's guiding you. 12th of December to the 15th, Mars opposition ascendant. Okay, watch this because you could be feeling a bit irritable. Could be conflicts over power or partnerships. And you have to be careful that you don't put yourself first and the other person last, or alternatively put them first and you last. You've got to find a compromise. If you're married or you've got, close partnerships, there could be some real big arguments. But if you're single and you're looking for a relationship, you're more likely now to step out and make the first move with somebody. 12th of December to the 24th of January, Mars moves into your 7th house, which I haven't put the little arrow there. So yeah, Mars is in the 7th house. So it's moving here from the 6th to the 7th. Okay, so again, arguments is, they're on the cards. So watch irritability, watch impatience. Mars sometimes can cause accidents, especially trips and falls, I find. So, you need a bit of harmony in your life. So compromise on the small things, not the really big things that are important to you. Okay. Excuse me. 13th of December to the 2nd of January, Mercury moves into your 8th house here. A lot of communications, negotiations regarding joint finances, investments and property, anything you own with another person, taxes, superannuation, banks, loans, things like that. It's a good time to get your business affairs in order. There could be some discussions about death, wills, inheritances, that sort of thing. 18th of December, the full moon is in your 1st house here, and you're likely to be more sensitive but intuitive and perceptive, as well as what's going on, in your environment. You're picking it all up. So sometimes you need a break from that. It's a good idea to go down the beach or into nature and be alone, because if you're just sucking up everybody's angst like a sponge, that's not going to be helpful to you. It's good if you can take some time off and get away from work and just, be on your own. It's sort of an emotional month, so you might not be objective all the time, and that's okay. 21st of December to the 20th of January 2022, the Sun moves into your 8th house, bringing you a lot of insight and awareness around investments, business affairs, joint financial affairs, and on a personal level, there could be some desire to get more intimacy and honesty into a close relationship. Somebody wants a deeper union. It's either you or the other person. But there's like things standing in the way that have to be cleared away first. 13th of December to the 2nd of January, Mars conjuncture MC. This means that your ambitions, or your goals that you have in mind, your career, reach a critical point at this time. It's like there's a culmination of a great deal of effort that something you've been working on for a while. It could be wonderful or not. Things could fall apart. But there isn't a major advancement in career now with increased stature and responsibility, but there's stress that attends it, okay? So if you do work for a large company, you're probably likely to get a promotion or a position of much greater authority. And it's time when all your efforts that you've put in are finally recognised, because you get recognition. But if there's been shortcuts, it's all going to fall apart. So, it's like 6 of 1, can go either way, okay? It's a time when, it's time to be practical, basically. Yep. 24th to the 27th, Mars trines Chiron. You may feel in tune with your inner energy and healing resources now. Chiron is the wounded healer, you see, so something that's been hanging around that needs resolution, that might finally happen, and it can be healed, okay? If you can get in touch with your deep-seated desires and longings, there's a chance for healing here. It's also a good time to, update your health regime. Maybe you want to change your diet or something like that, or do more exercise or something. But yeah, there's healing here with this. 25th of December, Merry Christmas, everyone, if you celebrate Christmas. To the 28th, Mars sextiles Saturn. This gives you a lot of self-discipline, training, persevering through a dry or slow period. You're likely to work now sort of solidly and constantly, because you have the ability and the stamina to concentrate and get stuff done, okay? 26th to the 29th, Mars conjuncts the Sun. You get a burst of energy. You've got more, you feel more vigorous, more alive, more assertive. Do watch for impatience though, and of course, as I said before, be careful with Mars, with irritability and accidents. You're less likely now to compromise, so do try to compromise, but on the small things, not the big things. 24th to the 30th, Venus conjuncts Pluto. Again, deep emotions being stirred up. You might become quite passionate and intense about the feelings. These feelings might be things like fears, insecurities, jealousies, resentments coming up to the surface. And your feelings are quite strong and compelling. It's hard to avoid them and not listen to them. You might also develop a powerful attraction to someone who fascinates you. It's a great time to reveal your deepest feelings. Okay, so 19th of December to the 7th of January 2022, Saturn sextiles Mercury. Gives you a lot of mental objectivity. You can concentrate, you can communicate very effectively now. You're likely to be more organised, structured, and matter of fact. Your intuition might take a bit of a drop, but that's because you're dealing with practical things, and that's fine. You can reach agreements with people about rules and procedures, and any ambiguous or unclear communications can be cleared up and resolved now. It's time for setting the record straight. Okay, 24th of December to the 3rd of January, Jupiter squares your ascendant. Now, it's a square, so, it's a difficult influence. There's a challenge here. But Jupiter loves to make everything big, and you might receive a promising opportunity, but Jupiter makes it into something that's bigger than it is. So, don't get your hopes up too much. Try to be practical, because if it's too good to be true, it probably is. It's probably not true. Yeah, that's what I mean to say. If it's too good to be true, it's probably not true. Okay, there are some risks involved, but there's every chance it could still work out quite well. Just keep your feet on the ground. That's the important thing. There's definitely some potential and optimism there, and with good reason. Be positive, but don't be overconfident. Don't take risks now, okay? 27th of December to the 11th of May 2022. Jupiter in your 10th house will go into Pisces, bringing a lot of advancement in your profession or your life generally. Maybe you want to achieve some goal or aspiration. This is going to give you a great big push towards you getting what you want, okay? There could be also public recognition, or your reputation gets a boost with this. If you feel a bit jaded at the moment in what you're doing, or a bit cramped, there's going to be so much space that opens up. It's like your horizons are really growing. You could change direction of your work and go towards a more promising line of work, and you'll have more trust and faith in what you can do to accomplish your dreams, which is fabulous. Now, the only other thing that's quite important is Saturn squaring Uranus. It's been around us on and off through the whole of this year. From the 21st of December to the 8th of January, okay, it could be some frustrations that throw a wet blanket on things. You could feel blocked or hemmed in. Your original plans are challenged in some way, maybe from conservative people or rules or something like that. But look, just be patient. If you really believe in something, stick to it. You don't need to go like a bull at a gate, but just be patient, and the obstacles, you can work with them and get through this, you know. And this is only for a couple of weeks, and so if you delay your plan, and also, you know, be very structured, and again, keep your feet on the ground and be practical. That's really important. Watch for reckless behaviour, because it's likely to be caught, you know, so no drinking and driving and stuff like that, and you'll be fine. Okay, don't give up on the things that are really important to you. Alrighty, so that's your horoscope. I'm just going to close my eyes now and see what I can see. It's a big horoscope this month. Okay, gorgeous Geminis, let's see what I can see. The white door of spirituality is opening up. I'm in the sky and I'm walking along the tops of the clouds. It's a blue sky, so even if you're under a cloud, these are soft white clouds, you know, they come and they go. It's not going to last long. They're just going to blow away. So it's a fine day up here. If you can actually raise your vibration and get out of whatever the issue is that's bothering you, get out of that, raise your vibration, you're going to feel much better, because the sun is shining, okay? Opportunity, growth and happiness, security, it's all there. You've just got to rise above that situation. Okay, so that's it. I hope this is useful for you. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're new, subscribe and be alive, and hit that notification bell. Okay, I'll see you all again. Have a wonderful month, everyone. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day. Thanks so much for watching.